Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where football in Scotland has returned. Obviously, the last episode we previewed the game against Hibs, Michael Beale's first competitive game as well. It was obviously key that we get a victory with the state we're in the league, but also for Michael Beale's first game, it could have been a disaster if we dropped any more points or got off to a bad start with him as manager. So it was good to get a victory in really tough fashion, right enough, for how the game went. But I will talk about that next. And obviously, Aberdeen is next tomorrow night. So we'll see how the team's looking going into that one, what we would play, thoughts about the game and the opposition. So if you do enjoy, like, subscribe, share for us, always appreciated. As we move on to obviously the Hibs game now. A bit of a weird game this actually. Obviously both in attendance at Ibrox, and both probably jaws hit the floor within the first 15 minutes because what we were watching at that point. Hibs go one up. Ryan Porteous in the 8th minute, I think it was, with a header unchallenged as well. Just a really, really poor start. And I think you could tell the team looked a bit nervous, which annoys me because you shouldn't be nervous playing for Rangers. Like, you should be wanting to go out there and look at the crowd about -4 or something it was that night and want to put on the performance. So, off to a bad start with that, and then good response, to be fair, good goal, nice finish for Fashion Sakala, and then immediately sat down and it was 2-1 Hibs. It was just crazy.
It was genuinely crazy, mate. You're up celebrating a goal 1 minute, next minute you get a ball and you're back your net there, and it's I don't know what happens with that goal really. Just insane, as you say. Good to be back at Ibrox, freezing, absolutely freezing. But that's why we do it. First half I was really shocked, as I said. We were expecting the new manager bounce. I didn't feel like we had it at all. I thought we weren't at it, we weren't at the paces at all. Hibs were really all over us with the set pieces as well. How do you let Ryan Porteous have a free header? You know what I mean?
That probably one of the worst goals I think we've conceded all season. Like, just for obviously the angle we sit in the stadium to see it just float in, and he's just nobody challenges him, and you just straight into the goal. Like, awful defending, and it's been our sort of Achilles heel all season. Corner kicks have ruined us. Al McGregor rooted to the spot once again, and then but to respond the way we did, I thought was good. Ryan Kent sort of finding that pocket in the middle of the pitch, laying it onto Sakala, and then it was a hard finish, and then for him to strike it into the bottom column was good. But it was just then as Tavernier kind of orchestrates the error, it comes through. James Sands and Lundstrom aren't ready. And then Nisbet just pokes his toe on it, gets in off the post or whatever. But just crazy first 15 minutes at Ibrox. And as you say, we never really got going after that. It took a halftime team talk, which Michael Beale did come out and say he wasn't just screaming at the players. He was telling them to calm down and sort of just play how they play in training, which then we came back out in the second half and blew Hibs away. Exactly the way you're kind of expecting under Michael Beale with a style of play. So definitely shows a test of character in the side that we can come back and win like we did. For you, would we do that under Gio? I don't think we would.
No, I don't think we do that under Gio. I think we're going to lose that game under Gio personally for me. But as you say, good character to come back and win. But for me, we should never be in that position at home at Ibrox, especially as I say, Michael Beale's first game. As a player, you've got to want to show that you're ready to be a part of it. Because as I say, he's picked his team. I know we were all shocked to see Davies start. I know we thought at least one fit centre half would be there.
Well, there's a team there.
I mean, Lundstrom at the back, we all were what's he doing here? I'm all for it, but why Lundstrom at the back? But no, I just think some of the players need to remember as well. Michael Beale's still assessing who's going to be a part of the club in the summer, and when he fully gets to make the decisions, or even in January as well. You never know, one or two players might be out the door, what have you. I thought Devine didn't do himself any problems at all. I thought Devine had a really good game. Obviously, first half, you maybe could say wasn't his best, but it's the same all the time when we watch the games, mate. Like, there's so many space, you know what I mean, with the left and then with the right, and every time we just seem to work it down one pocket, just trying to walk it in the net. For me, it's just frustrating. But I thought Devine had a decent wee game. As I say, Fashion was a good goal as well. The first half overall, mate, wasn't good enough. Second half, as you say, came out, blew him away. And I think that's all down to the man you've backed since he's came into the door, mate. Really, for me personally, I thought Tillman was
Yeah,
fantastic. I thought he was really, really well. I thought Kent was a bit sharp as well. I thought Kent looked a bit more like himself, and just wouldn't be an Ibrox without an E-slide with it.
no, well, you're right enough. I think definitely in the second half coming out and looking more like a Rangers team, dominating the ball, dominating possession. I thought the two centre halves, who aren't even centre halves, done their job pretty well in the second half, limiting Hibs to virtually nothing. Um, and Divine as well. You mentioned like second half, I thought it was really really good. Walking it down that left hand side, whether it be with Kamara or Kent or whoever was out there, because he kept on sort of interchanging who was playing everywhere. So I like that about a Michael Beale side. Obviously, we kind of accustomed to that under Gerrard as well. But I thought he done well. Kamara in the second half, I thought was really really good. Sort of back to what we know. Glenn Kamara in the first half was a passenger. But it's a nice to have a shot, I would think. Ryan Jack obviously getting the equaliser. Put in a good shift actually, Ryan Jack as well, if I remember rightly, just doing what Ryan Jack does. I remember a good tackle down the left hand side when Hibs were trying to break up the pitch. It sort of set the tone for the second half, to be honest with you. Just that we weren't going to be playing about. Sakala, obviously he was on till at least after the Morelos goal, but I didn't really do much after the goal. I don't think maybe I'm wrong, but Malik Tillman, I mean, he makes the goal, the winning goal happen. Tavernier, great sort of line breaking pass. He's on it, and just the footwork to then work it to Morelos is out of this world. And for a guy that's still only 20, still always sort of improving, he looks to be that sort of regen Joe Aribo in a way, where he's going to have a tough first season, of course, because he's only played maybe under 20 games of professional football, like, and this is his first proper full season playing as a starter, so he's obviously going to be learning all the time. But to me, it really reminds me a lot of Joe Aribo in his first season, where he was just kind of, when he was on it, he was unbelievable, unplayable in his day. But then he had these games where he was maybe off, and you seen how Joe Aribo then grew into the player he was for us. He took the full team this time last year under his own leadership with his goals and his assists. So I think Tillman will be a very very key player for us under Michael Beale definitely now. The fact that he's wanting to sort of give him the license to roam and play different positions and maybe plays a second striker at times. So for me, in January, I would get it done, to be honest with you. If we've got the funds there and we can, the price is obviously affordable, which I'd imagine it would be. Why would we agree for a deal where we can make the option if we can't afford to pay it?
What would you do if we didn't sign Tillman but we signed Sands?
I think it would be stupid. I just nothing against Sands at all. As we've put on record, like many podcasts that we've done, like we have nothing bad to say about the guy at all. I feel he's been sort of harshly treated, but there's a million James Sands out there. I just feel that players like Tillman only sort of pop up once in a while for us anyway to go and get. So for me, no brainer. I would go and sign Tillman, and then Ryan Kent on the left hand side, or the middle, or the right hand side, wherever he was popping up, he was everywhere. I thought he was sort of playing more as a midfielder, a centre attacking midfielder in the game. I thought, and suits him down to a T. Just roaming, nobody can pick him up with his trickery, his pace. That was just always the problem. He just needs to add goals to these games. So hopefully under Michael Beale again, we can do that. And then Morelos, I thought he had a much better second half, obviously getting the winning goal as well.
Offered absolutely nothing in the first half. I thought he was a passenger in the first half, but as you say, second half, hell of a lot more improvement. We Kent and all, I think it's just, as I say, it's confidence in it, really. I know we keep going on about it with him, but I generally do. I think it's confidence. But it was good to see him playing a bit more like himself for me.
Aye, and then obviously 3 points, which going into the Aberdeen game,
massive,
is huge, especially what's happened with Celtic. Aberdeen were dog shit against Celtic, absolutely just embarrassing. Like to play a game of football the way they did is just, Rangers and Celtic come up against a million of these teams all the time, just sitting behind the ball, just no attempt to go forward, trying to grind out a result, which obviously for them, that's what they needed as a result. We need to win. And for them to play the way they did against Celtic and Saturday is just embarrassing if I was a fan of Aberdeen, because you know for a fact it's just not going to be like that tomorrow. They're going to come out and they're going to try and attack us. They're going to try and beat us with everything they've got. And I think that just kind of sums up Aberdeen. For me, they've got 4 games a season. It's against us. 5 this year, obviously, because of the cup game. And I just an absolute joke. Yeah, club, and hopefully we can go and sort that out tomorrow. Go there. Needs a strong performance, like always, for all the reasons just mentioned. They're going to amp up their performance to 100 against us. So we're going to need to be our best. We're going to need the best possible versions of every single player that plays. And I think we're going to need a lot of grit in the midfield. So that's why the team I've went with, hopefully need enough to what we need. McGregor in goals, pretty standard to have in here as well. Goldson, who Michael Beale said is back in the squad. He's travelling. I don't see any way he doesn't start this game, to be honest with you. Ben Davies obviously got 5 minutes at the end of the game the other night. So for me, that has to be a partnership. So
I think it's a toss-up, mate. I think King might play.
I just, looking at the left-hand side, I just don't want King to play next to Devine. I think it's far too inexperienced.
No, I agree, but I don't know. I've just got a funny feeling it'll be Goldson and King tomorrow.
I wouldn't have a problem with Goldson and King Ross County away. I think they could handle that, no bother. But I just think Aberdeen away, you need your big players
you need
to be
the
playing.
best players, absolutely 100%. But I don't know. I've just got a funny feeling, as I say. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've just got a funny feeling.
Again, I think it's still unlikely, even talking about it, that Goldson and Davies do play, because they've obviously been out injured. They're just back.
It might be Davies and Leo. It might be Davies and King. Sorry, you never know. But just got a funny feeling Leon King plays.
Aye, but hopefully the two of them, I think it will make me much more secure watching the game if the two of them are playing. Devine needs to obviously go and carry on what he did against Hibs, and it's another tough team to go and play, because these teams are dying to beat us. So he's going to need to be on form. And obviously we heard the extent of Ridvan Yilmaz's injury, not looking good. He's about 7 weeks into the hamstring injury, which is going to take 12 weeks to recover for. So we're not going to be seeing him for at least another month, you would say. Borna Barisic is back for the Motherwell game, so we'll have a left back then. But Adam Devine on it, he obviously cover for the next while. So
he says sorry to hang with me, but it's up to Devine now. As I say, these are 2 massive games he's playing. As I say, big games for Michael Beale's first 2 games, home and away. And as I say, it shows him levels he's got to be at if he wants to be a first team starter. And as I say, with Yilmaz being out, he obviously will be the number 2. And obviously, Barisic comes back after winning his 3rd place medal at the World Cup. So we'll see. But if I'm him, I'm putting the work in and I'm showing it. Look, listen, I'm good enough to be the first pick. I don't see why not. But it's up to Devine if he wants that.
Yeah, it's up to him. Hopefully, obviously he's a dead set to start the next 2 games, so hopefully he can carry that form on and be a good player for us. I think exactly what's needed in the middle of the park is just Lundstrom and Jack. I think they two are going to be essential.
Definitely.
I think Kamara's got all the tricks in the book, but I think he could be a player used in the second half. I think you need Lundstrom and Jack at this away venue, especially Aberdeen. Ryan Jack's been there; he knows what it's about, so he'll be gunning to go. Lundstrom back in the midfield, which is needed, and then the front 4. I've went Sakala, Kent, Tillman, Morelos. Like Tillman, Morelos, Kent, obviously going to play. It's that other position. It's always been that position, the right hand side. Who do we play? Sakala obviously get a goal. Cholak's still out. I would imagine Cholak would probably have played this game, so I think I'll probably stick with Sakala in that same sort of formation that he played the other day. I know it won't be exactly what it looks here, but
no, sorry mate, but can we just go back to the Hibs game there, because obviously the other man that could play there as well, he's just right at the dying seconds of the game. We could have had another goal, but he's got right. He's a special player, isn't he?
Scott Wright's just not good enough to start.
But this is what I'm about. This game, I bet you if you put him in this game, he turns up and he has you know what I mean?
And again, I wouldn't really surprise me. But obviously you got Rabbi Matondo there who got on the last 5 minutes. So
I think that says a lot, doesn't it, really? I don't know. I mean,
aye.
5 minutes for Rabbi. I just don't know. I think it's going to be one of them where it just didn't work. It's just, I
Mhm.
honestly see for me, I cut my losses. I'd get rid of him in January personally. I really would. I'd try and shut him off because I just don't think it's good enough. He's got pace. I'll give him that. He's got pace.
We've just yet to see anything when he's on the
You
pitch.
know how critical our
Otherwise,
fan base, as I say, some of us can be. But I don't know. I think if you've got to have a certain mentality, as I say, to play at the club. I think
aye.
Tillman's a quality player. It's just about, as you say, he's only had about 20 sort of professional, whatever kind of professional games or what have you. So for him, it's just grown. But I don't know. I just think Matondo's not going to be anything special. But watch him. It's as you said, mate. It's weird to watch a player like that look more comfortable against Liverpool away in the Champions League than at home to
I
Ross
know.
or something. It's a weird mindset, that, man.
I think it's maybe just the reason that Rabbi Matondo sort of always played for teams that aren't expected to win all the time. He's more played as Cercle Bruges, definitely aren't expected to win. Schalke, he played with them when they were down, get relegated. So Stoke City was on loan it. So like he's playing places where he has to be the difference maker. He has to make the impression that he can win them games. And I just feel like come to Rangers against Liverpool, we were really not expected to take anything. So he's going out there expressing himself. We know sort of monkey on his back, whereas we play Ross County at home. He's got all the pressure in the world to go and deliver. So I think maybe just a mentality issue so far for Matondo, but then I guess if we go by all these games and we don't really see him come on the pitch or start any games, I think it could spell what's to come.
Um,
And it's just a problem position. We've never been able to sort it out. You think guy coming in, spending money on him, he's going to be the answer. But so far he's not. Sakala's worked his way back into the team, and to no fault of his own, by the way, looked like our best player on many occasions under Gio when it was like terrible the football we were playing. So I would imagine Sakala would probably start, but then who else have you got apart from obviously Scott Wright, Matondo, Scott Arfield? We've obviously seen play in the middle of the park. We
Maybe
depends how he wants to
Lowry.
shuffle about. Lowry, of course, so there's
Depends.
there's
I'd like to.
definitely options, but
I can tell he's a fan of Alex Lowry, sorry, and I'd really like to see Lowry get a lot more minutes this second half of the campaign. It'd be really nice. For me, he's got to be one that's pushing for the first team for next season. Obviously, we're all still waiting on our boy Giannis coming back, signed a new contract, which is good to know it was somebody like him. As I said, I was sweating, feeling it was a Ryan Jack or somebody. I don't mean that in any way. I love Ryan Jack, fantastic player, but injury prone as we all know, and at the ages I was a bit scared and a bit worried because the midfield needs more into it. It needs a lot younger players
well, you
there.
you look at the rumours that have sort of came out. Obviously, we're looking at Nicholas Raskin in January. The deal would have happened if Kamara had obviously then moved on. We could have secured him, but he's just been demoted to train with the junior team for Standard Liège, so he's sort of pushing for a move away. January, obviously, we can pay a fee and get him, or in the summer you can get him
Free,
free. So I mean, that's Ross Wilson's.
It's his
That's his
job,
playing
and
ground, in
if
it. He
Ross
loves
could actually do
Belgian
it for
league.
once instead of just splashing the cash on any old random player, that'd be
I
nice.
think it would make a lot of sense, especially what you're saying, like Ryan Jack, Davis, Arfield. There's going to be three out in this summer window. So, getting somebody like him in, 21-year-old Belgian. Obviously, he's played a lot of games for
Man.
Standard Liège. It's one of them that gets you buzzing because that's the kind of players we should be signing. We should be signing prospects that they can move on and hopefully have a good career for us and then make us a lot of money in the process. So, that's definitely one I've seen. Fabrizio Romano was posting about it today. So,
Mm.
we'll see if that ever happens.
No, hopefully, mate, because as I say, was another other night and I was sitting watching the game and I think you said to us, what was it, Stevie Davis not playing at centre half and all.
I think it was just anybody taking their pick. To be
Just
honest, just
everything, but as I say, just well free of them you have to watch, and I think for as I say, the age that all of them are at, you've got to get a lot younger in there. I don't think any Rangers fan could disagree with that. You've got to start getting some more youthful players in there. That we
aye.
know are going to be there for a couple of seasons down the line. Obviously, it's a missing more as well. We know having no Cholak as well. It's a shame. But hopefully, We should be back for what, Friday's game, no?
He's back for Friday.
Oh, well, I
And
suppose
then
it's.
I think when he spoke about the others, Hadji will be back sort of late January into February.
Oof.
And they expect to have all the injured players back before or after the international break, which is in March. So we could be waiting a while for some. But I mean, they keep telling us we're going to get all these players back, and I would like to hopefully believe them, but they said
Yeah.
after the World Cup and all that, and that's still not happened. I think if we get one player by Goldson, the player you think is going to be out the full season, he's back quicker
He's
than
back.
everything. To me, I just kind of
It's
shows
positive
a
that
lot.
it's positive that Hadji will be back. I think Hadji is somebody who definitely will be a difference maker. Sorry for his
When you look at that team, Hadji just goes in for Sakala, like you're
slots makes
sorted.
them there. And I would really like to see Tillman and Hadji play together. Obviously Kent, Morelos. That sounds exciting to me.
Mm.
So I'm just looking forward to seeing them back, but especially when we have Connor Goldson and Davies fit, they two for me are the starting centre halves. I don't think Shooter gets in there personally for me.
You just want to know what's actually happening with him. Like,
Aye.
is there any point in him even being here? Like, it's just annoying because he is a good player, and we've obviously seen him for years at Hearts, and we're like, he's a good enough centre back to come in and be a rotation option for us, and then he's played half a game and we've never even heard about him since. So we'll see what happens with him. Hollander, and I don't know, another fucking
Oh,
crock. So we'll
he's
see.
got to be going, man. Yeah, I say we'll see what happens, but obviously the Mona's game is just this. It's a big one yet again because as I say, we cannot afford to lose any games. We have to go out there and win his all of them. There's no,
Literally every game we need to win.
there's not this one. We've got to go and win all of them to make sure that we get what obviously we want at the end of the season. But I just another thing I'd like to touch on, Jack. I don't know about yourself, but obviously the comment about them that seems to have offended someone or a group of people or what have you. Just grow up, go over yourselves. Do you know what I mean? I refer to them as a lot worse than them. So
Yeah, it's just a. Why would you even ask that at a press conference? It's just stupid,
but you
isn't
know
it?
what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. You know what they're trying to do to Michael Beale. And you know what they're trying to make him out to be, and
Aye.
it's just Michael's not going to fall for it.
Nah, no. It's just basically they're just trying to get a reaction and build
Exactly.
and make headlines out of nothing. So, Michael Beale's again handled himself really good in that press conference that I listened to today, especially with that question as well. Like, he got really kind of fired up about it because it's just clearly not what he meant. So,
Exactly. You can tell. You can tell it's not what he meant. You know what I mean? But big game tomorrow. Hopefully 3 points for all the travelling fans. I hope you've got like 70 layers on, because that is going to be Baltic up there. I couldn't imagine that. But hopefully we're rewarded with all 3 points.
let's hope we can win this game. Hopefully, it's drama free as well. I know games up at Pittodrie, especially during the week, if I remember
Oh,
rightly, to the one where Morelos gets sent off for that,
and,
he booted Scott McKenna in the face. Like, just always daft games up there. So hopefully we can
uh,
just put a performance on, score
God,
goals, and just make it plain sailing. I know we don't like to do that, but it'd be nice once in a while. So,
fight
aye,
over the kick.
let's pray. Until then, we'll see.